Hello, I'm CJWS. We're bringing you this episode from the road, but please don't forget to subscribe to this show. Now let's get into it. We launched this program exactly 3 years ago to not only expose and counter injustices in the Muslim world, but also to encourage non-Muslims to care about issues that negatively affect ordinary human lives in Palestine, India, Kashmir, East Turkestan, Myanmar, and elsewhere. And we have also sought to challenge Islamophobia by revealing the truth about the Islamic religion, with the ultimate objective of broadening minds and softening hearts towards all Muslim peoples. The continued growth and rising popularity of our show, which is now in its 157th episode, proves we are well on our way to achieving these aims. Which is why our opponents are so determined to stop us. And it's why I've been charged with committing terrorism by the Indian government for exposing human rights abuses against Muslims in Tripura, harassed by the Chinese government for exposing evidence of the Uyghur genocide, regularly smeared an anti-Semite by Western media outlets, and targeted with death threats from Hindu nationalists and Zionists. But with all of that said, we were hit with some unexpected but welcome feedback from one of our regular viewers last week. And by unexpected news, I actually mean a bombshell email, one that has left me in total shock, but in an extremely good way. His email reads, "My apologies for disturbing you, but I've followed you on social media for years and watched your show. And I want you to know that you have helped me convert to Islam. I'm now a Muslim and I took my Shahada on January 2 this year. Sir, I know you're not a Muslim, but you helped me understand what Islam means and what it means to be a good Muslim. It means to put Allah before yourself and put others before yourself too. I believe you are a Muslim too because of your behavior and because Islam means service and sacrifice to free people from oppression. And this is what you do. You teach people this in every episode, and I hope you know this to be true. I personally know many non-Muslims in the UK that watch your show every week, and they now talk about Islam because of you. Maybe one day they will take the Shahada like me too, and I pray to Allah that you do the same, because you do so many positive things for my new religion. Please keep doing the CJWS show. It's very important in times of false information from Zionists and Hindu for people. And please be careful because I see on your Twitter that you make enemies from many of these people. Yours truly, David." I mean, how does one even reply to that, other than to express pure amazement and surprise? But we shouldn't be surprised, because the comment section to every one of our episodes are filled with messages from non-Muslims expressing their newly found fondness for the Islamic faith. Like this one here, that we posted in our community notes recently, by a man who says he now stands with all Muslims during these very difficult times. You can find thousands of other comments like this below each of our episodes, and while we are truly thrilled to receive this wonderful feedback, it's important that you understand that neither me nor my team are willing to take credit for a single conversion to Islam. And I want to be very clear about this. Nobody converts to Islam because of this show or because of my journalism. People convert to Islam because of Islam, period, paragraph, exclamation point. People discover the beauty of Islam for themselves when they learn how the religion strongly advocates for equality, peace, and compassion. They learn this not through people like me, but through the example set by other Muslims, including the Palestinian people, who through their undeniable display of courage, defiance, and dignity have inspired millions of Americans and Europeans to learn about Islam and in turn become Muslim. Our show serves only to reveal and confront the injustices of the Palestinians and other oppressed Muslim communities that suffer under the brutality of repressive regimes. But the number one purpose of this episode is to share with you the details of an interaction I recently had with a Muslim man. Because this amazing story demonstrates the deep-rooted love and devotion Muslims have for their fellow Muslim brothers and sisters who endure injustice anywhere in the world. For me, this is the single greatest aspect of the Islamic faith. What I'm about to share with you took place on 9th of December when I was in Qatar for the Doha Forum, which is a global platform that brings together leaders in the geopolitical realm to help tackle the world's biggest problems. The event was held at the Sheraton Hotel. At the end of the convention's first day, I ordered an Uber to take me to the hotel where I was staying. Here's the booking receipt. The driver pulled up, confirmed I was the person who ordered the ride, and then I got into the backseat of his car. As I sat there for a moment, scrolling through my emails, The driver turns his head towards me and says in an apologetic tone, "Excuse me, I know who you are. I watch your show. You're the journalist who talks about Muslims." Surprised at first, we got to talking, and he explained to me how he had moved from his home in Bangladesh to Doha 7 years ago. When I asked him if he missed his family, he told me with great sorrow how he misses them terribly, and especially his wife. I then asked him, why didn't she live with him in Qatar? And he said he couldn't afford to bring her here on the little money he earns, and that he can only afford to live in a shared 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment with 6 other men from his home country. Looking at his face in the rearview mirror, I could see that he was visibly upset as he spoke about his wife and how much they want to start a young family together. He then explained that working in Qatar was the only opportunity for him to make enough money to send home and build something for the future. So we arrived at the hotel I was staying, and he asked if I already paid for the Uber ride. Now I was a little confused by his question, so I held up my phone and I showed him on the app that my credit card had been debited. He then replies, "Look, sorry sir, I don't mean the check that you've paid. I want to give you the money back for your ride." Now I was still a little confused by what he was saying, until he started pulling cash from his pocket and reaching his hand back towards me in the rear seat, saying, "Sir, this is my donation for you because you help Muslims." Of course I was like, no man, I'm not taking your money. I can't accept this. You need this. I then reached into my pocket, knowing I had the equivalent of about $40 in bills on me, and then I placed the money on the center console of his car, and I said, "No, this is my small donation to you and your wife." He tried to refuse my money and hand it back to me, but I hurried out of the car and I wished him well. But as I made my way towards the hotel lobby entrance, he pulled his car up beside me. He had his front passenger window down, and he said, "Thank you." There's a stream of tears ran down his face. It still breaks my heart thinking about this today. But I urge you to take just a single moment to think about everything I've just told you during the past few minutes. There's me, a white Western male, dressed in a reasonably expensive suit, leaving an international event at a 5-star luxury hotel to travel to another luxury 5-star hotel. But on the other side of this personal interaction between two strangers is a Bangladeshi migrant worker who lives in abject poverty, and because of that poverty, he's separated from his beloved wife. Despite this glaring inequality, this Bangladeshi man wanted to give me money to help expose and counter injustices in the Muslim world. This is remarkable kindness. This is remarkable generosity. This is Islam. This is what it means to be a Muslim. He wants to help others even though he can barely help himself. Now think about him, and then think about the majority of Americans and Europeans who don't give one single damn about the genocide that's taking place in Gaza today. What a stunning juxtaposition between Islam and the West. And I promise you I will never forget this moment. And if you're watching this episode in Doha, Mr. Mahfouj from Bangladesh, which I'm sure you are, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for showing me and our audience what the religion of Islam is all about. You have demonstrated through your kindness just how deeply Muslims, even impoverished Muslims, care for others who are doing even worse than themselves. It's a life experience and lesson I will never forget. I get emotional every time I tell the story and think about this beautiful man. Anyway, that's my time for today. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and we kindly ask you please support our effort to expose and confront injustices in the Muslim world by becoming a member of this show at patreon.com/CJWS. We can't produce, sustain and grow this show without your help, and we offer exclusive benefits to those who do. But for now, good night, good morning, wherever you are, and stay blessed.